Welcome to episode 81 of the Twig Snapper Podcast. Today I'm joined by Cora Webber, and she's on the Maine women's hockey team. Cora, thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Did you do anything fun for Memorial Day weekend?
I'm just getting back from Florida, so
yeah, that would be a good way to spend the weekend for sure. Why don't we start off by just kind of, going back to the beginning and, when did you start playing hockey? Obviously some people start later than others. Some people start as soon as they can walk. So when did you start?
I definitely started as soon as I could walk, pretty much. I have an older brother. He's 2.5 years older than me. So by the time I was 2, I was in Learn to Skate. And by the time I was 4, I was already on my first team.
Okay, so yeah, you were right out of the gate.
I could not wait to get on skates.
Yeah. So then, how big was hockey growing up in Rhode Island? Is it pretty big? I mean, Rhode Island it's not like one of the states that just screams hockey to me.
Yeah, it probably screams beach, but I mean, there's a bigger community now. I actually didn't play that much in Rhode Island. I think when I was about 6 or 7, I was already playing off in Massachusetts because there was just more options there for me and my brother at the time. So I didn't stay in Rhode Island very long.
So basically, if you want to play at a higher level, you want to get noticed, you want to develop more, you kind of have to leave.
Yeah, that was my case scenario. I know a lot of people who've done great things in Rhode Island. There's a lot more options for boys right now. Like we have Mount Charles. My brother was a captain at Bishop Hendricken. So there's just more options for boys than there are.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll start to change as the women's game keeps growing here. I mean, it's grown so much in the last couple years that eventually here it should start to change. It would also probably be good if there was a major university in Rhode Island that had like Division I hockey.
We have Providence College.
Oh, that's right. That was just dumb. Gosh. Oh my.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I feel it. That's a whew. I mean, I've interviewed people from Providence. I like Providence. You got a sweet logo, sweet jerseys, sweet colors, and well, that was a brain fart moment there. Wow. Scratch that.
Cut that out.
Yeah. Honestly, I might have to because that was embarrassing. People are going to be listening to this and they're really going to think I know absolutely nothing about hockey.
We also have Brown University. I have some good friends going into that team too.
Okay, I actually didn't know where Brown was. I knew it was out east, but I didn't actually know where that one was. So That is, but the Providence one, I should know better on that one. I don't know why. I just completely blanked on that. I'll go with they need a professional hockey team.
Okay, I
like an NHL team.
Yes, I like that. We do have Providence Bruins for AHL.
But that's not as big. There's a lot of people who they don't really know what the AHL is. Like the NHL is what pulls the big weight. I mean, if you like hockey, people follow the AHL, and those games are fun. And obviously, those guys have extreme talent, and half of them go up and down to the NHL all the time. But I just feel like NHL teams really spark growth in communities. Like I bet up in Washington with the Kraken, like the hockey's going to take off up there. I mean, it happened in California with the Ducks and the Sharks and, obviously the Kings going back a little bit farther, but that's what Rhode Island needs. They need that NHL expansion team.
That'd be fun.
I just got to say whatever I can to try to recover from that because that was brutal. We're going to move on to a new topic here just to escape that humiliation. And we'll talk about recruiting. Everyone's kind of got a different recruiting process. Some people have it pretty easy. They know exactly where they want to go and it works out just fine. Other people, like some people start recruiting super early, others wait. And so I kind of wanted to, talk about your recruiting process and start off with, were you specifically looking for something in a school other than obviously you want to like the coach? You want to like the facilities and kind of the feel you get, but is there anything else that you were kind of looking for in a school?
I was pretty adamant from the time I was young that I wanted to go Hockey East. So that's something that I really looked into. But the recruitment process wasn't as easy for me. I was kind of in a position where COVID hit, and then we had the dead period, and then recruiting all got changed. So it kind of took me a little bit longer. I did 5 years at my boarding school, and I loved it. I had an amazing coach, Krista Talbot Saifu, and she really helped with the recruiting process, especially after COVID.
So when you started your recruiting process, did you have a Hockey East team that you really had your eye on, or were you just kind of like, I want to play in this conference? That's just like, I'm going to start there.
Yeah. So growing up, Providence College, I live right down the road. It's a 10-minute drive. So that was always kind of in the back of my mind. And then I was like, okay, I need to get out of Rhode Island. So then I was really open to any of the schools.
So you said it was a little bit harder for you. Would you say it was pretty stressful going through the recruiting process?
There were definitely parts of it because you start recruitment, or I did at least, when I was pretty young. And then there was this rule change where you had to wait till after your junior year. But that was when COVID hit for me. And then there was
Are you there? Froze. Looks like you froze up a little. Oh, you're back.
okay.
Well, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. You're back. Where were we?
I don't know. The recruiting process.
Yeah, you were saying that you started young, and I think that's where you froze.
Okay. Yeah. So I started pretty young, and that kind of gave me a feel for what I wanted. And then there was a rule change that happened where you had to wait till after your junior year, which I think is a great rule change because in retrospect, I didn't necessarily know what I really wanted when I was that young. And then, shocker.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into COVID hit. There was a dead period. So there was a lot of lulls, and it was kind of a roller coaster, but I'm really happy that I took my time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point. The rule change and how important that is. I mean, kids really, they can't make big decisions. They don't know how to make big decisions or handle any of that stuff. I mean, brains are in a development stage. So at least you wait, till you're a junior, you're a little more mature, you can make a better decision. And it's a pretty important decision picking, the college that you're going to attend, the team you're going to play for. Obviously there's the transfer portal, but that's more of a hassle having to, so if you can find the team that's right for you and make that decision, obviously that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
So if you wish, is there any advice that you wish you had, if you could give a piece of advice to somebody in the recruiting portal, that you wish somebody maybe would have helped you with, that would have made it smoother, what would you say?
I would just say something that really helped me, and I kind of found frustrating in the beginning, but my coach always had me write down a pros and cons list of each school that I was looking for, and I took my time with it. So I would definitely say take your time and weigh all of your options.
Yeah, I think that's a good piece of advice because, it's got to get hectic, especially if somebody's getting a lot of offers. They're just like, oh, I'm getting all these D1 offers, but you really got to break it down and find the fit that's right for you.
Yeah.
So you played, well, I saw 26 games on one. I saw 27 on Elite Prospects. I don't know which one is true. But
I think it's 27.
Okay, so you played 27 games as a freshman at Maine. It's pretty good, to come in and get to play a lot of games, get that experience. And you also had your first college goal. So why don't we start there? Tell us how it happened. Was it an exciting goal?
I was so excited. I actually didn't know the puck actually went in, but it was a shot from the point and it just kind of snuck in between the post and the goalie. And there was a lot of people screaming. So at first I thought it was our captain who scored, and I was cheering. I was like, yeah, Morgan, like, I'm so happy. And turns out I had scored. I just remember jumping up and down.
So your initial excitement was for someone else when you were the one who scored.
Yeah.
Well, that makes the story a little memorable in some way. You know, you can always remember that you didn't even know you scored your first goal.
There you go.
You know? And you also had an assist this year too?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple points. Good way to start off. Your first year, you know, some people, geez, I was looking at somebody's, I think they played D3 hockey somewhere, and they played like every game every year, and I don't think they had a single point. You know, I know that points aren't the only thing that matters, but everyone wants to get a college point, a goal, some assists. Like, it's important personally, even if you're contributing to the team in another way. Yeah. So it's nice to get a couple under your belt right away.
Yeah, definitely. Takes the edge off a little bit.
It does, right? You can feel like the little weight off your back. Like, I got the first goal. I mean, I want a few more, but I got that first one. And usually that's the hardest one to get, is that first one.
Yeah.
So Hockey East is obviously one of the best conferences in college hockey on the men's and women's side. You know, the schools are just phenomenal. The competition is great. So this might be a hard question. I don't know. Maybe it's easy. Maybe there's a team you're just like, it was tough to play them. But was there a hardest game or series that you played in this past season?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty close between Vermont and Northeastern, but I think Northeastern was a little bit more of a surreal awakening because, I mean, it's no secret, Alina Mueller, Katie Knoll, Maureen Murphy, like, those are probably top 5 best players in all of college hockey. So that was a really cool experience to be able to play against them. And also I played against my old D partner, which was really fun. And we ended up beating them for the first time in I don't even know how many years. So that was a really good experience to get at least one win under our belt.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to mentally go into games like that when you said you know what you're going up against. You know what a powerhouse Northeastern's been. And it kind of like you can mentally, like, it makes it harder than to play the game when you, that mental side affects so much.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I guess kind of goes off the same question. Maybe Northeastern's the answer, but is there a team that's got like the worst fans to play in their home barn when you're on the road? Like, their fans are just nuts, and that makes it that much harder.
I would say BU had quite the fan base with their band.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, it was really fun to play there because Wally B is a great rink, super historical, but their band would like chirp us, and I was like, okay.
like intense, you know, like actual like zingers, or like
yeah, like they'd just be like, someone's playing the trombone, and then all of a sudden they're chirping you, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's really funny.
Yeah, Tech's band for men's hockey is like that. Like they don't let up on the other team's goalies, or, you know, just the chants and the roars, and it's great for the home team, but it's really annoying if you're not the home team when you've got to, you know, listen to that. So BU had the toughest fans to play against. Northeastern was the toughest team.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it makes sense, but obviously, again, any weekend in Hockey East, tough weekend. I mean, you can't really overlook any opponent. I mean, across college hockey, but especially in Hockey East, you can't overlook opponents. So, like we mentioned already, you know, playing 27 games the first year is just great experience. It gives you like a foundation to your pyramid, your building block, you know, to be able to play in that. Did you have an idea that you were going to get to play a lot, like with talks and recruiting, or, you know, did you have to go into practice kind of like, geez, I don't know where I stand, I got to work hard to make sure I can play?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you're aware, but originally going into this past season, our old coaches had been let go. And so Molly and Kirsty and Jen had come in a couple weeks before our first game. So
Okay, yeah, I was not aware of that.
yeah,
That's
so we had a coaching change.
pretty poor timing too. Like not the greatest time to have a coaching change.
Yeah, but I'm really thankful for that because I think initially coming in, I wasn't sure where I would stand with the old coaches. And, I was the only D that was brought into our freshman class. So I was the youngest one and obviously no college experience. But something I'm super thankful for is Molly gave every kid a chance. And you just have to capitalize on that. So I didn't play, I think, our first 2 weekends. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is like, I'm sweating. Like, I don't know what I can do. But I did the extra ice sessions, I did the video sessions, and I was able to work into a place where they were going to play me our UNH series. And you just have to take every opportunity that she gave you. And I was really thankful for that.
Yeah, I think that's a good kind of statement for all sports or, college sports especially. You really got to like capitalize on your opportunities and take advantage of them. When you get a chance, you might not get another one, so you really got to capitalize. I mean, college sports, it's a tough game. I mean, it's hard and you can't just fake it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, you got to take those opportunities when you get them and make the most out of them and, work your hardest and good things will come out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I've said this in many episodes, people who've listened to the podcast, probably get sick of hearing this, but I'm a big jersey guy. I love jerseys for all sports. Someday I want to have like a jersey room with like cool jerseys framed up on the walls just so I could like sit in there and stare at them. I will look at teams and I will root against them if I don't like their jersey, just for the jersey,
Well,
and there's some teams.
Jerseys.
Yeah, you guys do have great jerseys. It makes it easier to root for Maine women's hockey. There's teams I root for specifically. People are like, well, why do you root for them? I don't know. I like their logo. Their jerseys are cool. Like,
I love it.
But I really like the white jerseys with the lettering like you have on your sweatshirt. And like there's the light blue and little dark blue, and I don't know, they're really like crisp and clean, and
yeah,
it's just it's kind of like, I mean, it's true. You like look good, feel good, play good. If you have ugly jerseys, it's kind of like, you're skating around and everyone's laughing at you. It makes it hard. But when you have cool jerseys, people are like sharing it around Instagram and like, well, these are sick. And, that makes it more fun too. And I think it's a big part of recruiting too. Like people look and like, they want to look good. They want like the college's brand to look good. You don't want to go places, jerseys, facilities, social media, all that stuff has become so like big into people making their decisions.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just, it's changing, but schools got to keep up with it. That's why like teams keep coming out with new jersey concepts and your school colors help. Like
they definitely
having blue and like white and like the different shades of blue, those are good colors to work with. Having brown colors, that's kind of tough. Like there's not a lot to work with.
No, and Maine hockey in general has such a good history, and so many people love Maine hockey, obviously, especially in Maine, but it's just a classic.
Yeah. And you guys have a sweet logo too, like the Maine black bears, and it's like that bear like growling at you. Like that's it's pretty sweet.
We're intimidating.
You are exactly. You have to be. I mean, bears are gonna eat friars, so
exactly.
A bear would eat a terrier too. I don't know if there's many animals in Hockey East that could eat a bear.
I don't think so. I think we won on that one.
Yeah, you guys have the most intimidating logo.
I love it.
No, never mind. Lost it. transitioning out of kind of your first year here, you're going into summer, it's just beginning. Do you have a summer training plan?
Yeah, so our strength and conditioning coach, Phil, set us all up, even the incoming players, with an app called Team Builder, where he puts all of our workouts on there and he'll give us feedback. He'll have us video some of the workouts so that he can see and make sure that we're doing them right. And then I'm also skating with my skating coach 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. And when does the skating start? Like, have you been skating? Are you going to start soon?
Yeah, I already started. So our ice went out mid-April. So by the time I got home, I was like, all right, I'm ready to skate. I miss it.
Yeah. So you took a little break, but now you're back into it a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do a lot of, other than the skating, dryland stuff with that app?
Not on that app, but we are doing like a team challenge to shoot 10,000 pucks this summer. So we each are put into a group. I have a group of 4 with one of our captains and 2 incoming players, and we're kind of writing down how many shots we take each day.
Off the ice or?
Yeah, off the ice,
Okay.
or if you
just
shooting around, then you can also use that too.
Okay. So just gotta beat 10,000, beat your captain, you know.
Yeah.
Is there like, do you get something if you have the most pucks shot on the team, or
I don't
bragging
know.
rights?
Bring that up.
There should be some kind of a, little added perk if you shoot the most pucks out of the whole team.
I'll bring that up.
Yeah. All right, let's just talk about kind of a few non-hockey things. Like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not playing hockey?
I'm a big beach girl and by the pool girl, so I love to be by the pool, hanging with friends. I also have a couple dogs, so I love to be with them. And I like going on walks with my mom.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose you said like Rhode Island's most known for beaches, so
Yes.
Growing up in that area has its perks.
Definitely.
And going to Florida for, Memorial Day and, nice vacation.
Well, I split time between the both. I live half time in Rhode Island, half in Florida, but all my training's up here.
Okay, so beaches all around.
I can't complain.
No, that sounds like a good split, 50-50, a little different, but
Doesn't suck.
No, it definitely doesn't. What's your favorite food?
Oh, I would say any pregame meal, I'm going for a chicken parm or an eggplant parm, and it's still my favorite.
Yeah. So you don't get sick of it? Just like always going for Do you eat it like out of the season? Or like only in season? I can only eat it then, otherwise I'm gonna like ruin the effects. It won't work anymore if I don't.
No, I come from an Italian family. We're big on cooking pasta and chicken and everything like that.
That's a good way to live. Yeah, at the beach eating pasta.
You could do that too.
I can't complain either. My dad's side of the family is Italian. I love pasta. You really can't go wrong.
Exactly. It's so good.
Yeah. So are you a movie, TV kind of person?
I am a little bit, yeah.
So if you're going to sit down and watch a good TV show, what are you going to pick? Or is there something you're watching now that you're really into? Or do you have like a favorite all-time show?
I would say Friends is my all-time favorite show.
Friends is good. I like Friends. Who's your favorite character?
Oh, gosh. Maybe Phoebe. She's funny.
Okay. Yeah. Not Joey?
Joey's funny too. He's up there.
Yeah. I don't know. Joey'd probably be my favorite character. I don't know. He's that kind of guy. I think you need him in the show. Otherwise, he's just like, he fills that certain type of character that needs to be in like a comedy show. That every friend group's kind of got their Joey.
Yeah, very true.
And why don't we wrap it up with? Do you have any personal goals for next year? Something you want to, you know what you did your first year. You kind of know college hockey. You got a little bit of experience. So moving into next year, do you have any goals you have set?
yeah, I mean, just kind of working at what I'm doing right now and just getting stronger and better and faster. Just kind of doing everything I can.
And a couple more goals.
Couple more goals, that would be fun.
Yeah, right. But anyway, to help the team. I mean,
True.
Goals are, they're fun, but they're not necessarily necessary. As long as other people are scoring them, if you're blocking shots or doing whatever else,
yes,
it's just not noted as much, which is kind of, blocked shots. Like, that's a huge part of the game, but I feel like people don't really talk about that statistic. It's like, oh, I blocked 10 shots in a game. It's like, people are like, oh, who cares? Like, how many goals did you score? It's like, well,
true.
We still won, and I'm a part of it,
Yeah, for all the defense and our forwards out there, we love you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, I think that it's a good place to wrap it up. And aside from my complete brain fart blunder on the fact that Providence, I'm sorry, Brooke Becker, she's my Providence guest I have on, and I completely forgot her college existed. So that was something that I don't know, just completely, I wasn't even thinking about it. I was thinking, I know Rhode Island's they've got a club team, a club hockey team, but I just could not think of Providence College at all.
Well, now Brown is in Rhode Island too.
Yeah, that's good, because there's a lot of those schools. I know they're out east, but I've never taken the time to. I mean, there's so many college hockey teams from D3 to D1 out east that I just don't pay. I just I know it's out east, but that's
that's fair.
It's easy when it's Maine. You know where it is.
It's really hard not to know where Maine is.
Right. When it's the state, you're good. I mean, I should know that Providence is in Rhode Island. That's on me for, but the really easy ones are the ones where the state is the name of the university. You don't even have to question it. You just know where it is.
You're right.
So thank you for coming on this episode of the podcast and joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.